Real quick, just super fast video. I'm really close to 9K, and it would be dope if this video could push it over. I've got a lot of comments asking me about roller coaster terminology, so this is just a quick video giving you the basics of roller coasters in 4 minutes. I've already used 10 seconds on that spiel, so 3:45 on the clock. Here we go. Roller coasters are designed to enact forces on your body, known as G-forces. The main ones are positive Gs, negative Gs, and laterals. Within these forces, they can be subdivided into more terminologies, so let's get into those. Positive Gs are intensity. It's when you go through a loop and you feel like your face is getting smushed down to your seat. Astronauts feel this during takeoff. Negative Gs are known as airtime. It's that stomach dropping feeling you get when going down, and sometimes you'll even come out of your seat a little bit. Airtime is subdivided into floater and ejector, with floater being the weaker and ejector actually pulling you up out of your seat. Of course, there's a restraint keeping you in because roller coasters are perfectly safe, but that's another video. Blase. Moving on. Laterals are side to side. You know those scramblers at carnivals where you smush the poor soul that sits on the left? Yeah, that's laterals. It's basically where you just move side to side aggressively. Another term is hang time, which I'm not quite sure what type of G-force that is, but it's just when you're hanging upside down for an extended period of time. But different types of roller coasters specialize in certain forces. There are different manufacturers for roller coasters. No, the park does not build them all themselves. It's kind of like a vending machine. The vending machine contains Oreos, Doritos, Goldfish, blase, you know, the normal vending machine food. That doesn't mean the vending machine makes all of that food. It's just the place where you go to get one. That was a bad analogy. Anyways, moving on. Parks hire manufacturers to build certain rides, and that's why different roller coasters have different type of track. This is B&M track, while this is Intamin track. I'm not going to explain all the different manufacturers because I simply do not have time, but I will explain the different types of roller coasters that they offer. Inverts are coasters where you're sitting below the track. These are strong and positive Gs and sometimes lateral. Sit-down coasters are just that. You sit down and it does its thing. You're above the track for this time, and these usually have a lot of loops, but sometimes they don't. Mine trains are sit-down coasters, but super tame. Disney builds a lot of mine trains. These don't go upside down or anything, they just go through their course, and that's about it. Dive coasters are the one with those super steep 90-degree drops where you hang over the edge and look straight down. These can give pretty good air time. Sometimes they can also give you laterals, but they're great for that stomach dropping feeling. Hypercoasters are coasters built above 200 feet that have big drawn out elements. They often focus on air time, but recently some manufacturers have been putting inversions in them. Little side quest, inversions are basically anytime you go upside down. This is a loop. It's a type of inversion. It's circular and pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Now this is a Cobra roll. It's another type of inversion. It's not a loop. It looks nothing like a loop, but a lot of people call it a loop because they don't know what it's actually called. There are tons of other inversions like this that aren't loops, but people will just keep calling them loop-de-loops, whatever. Now you know, it's an inversion, not a loop. Hybrid coasters are coasters that are made of both wood and steel. They focus a lot on air time and sometimes laterals. They also sometimes have inversions. Launch coasters are the ones that boost you. These launches can be at the beginning of the ride or during the layout or just both. Launch coasters are tough to pin down for specific forces because they can really act as any other coasters after the launch. One of the most famous coasters that isn't operating anymore is Volcano the Blast Coaster, which was an inverted coaster mixed with a launch coaster. Giga Coasters are hypers, but instead of 200, it's 300. I got a lot of questions about that in my Giga videos, so here you go. Spinning coasters are coasters that spin. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of other types of coasters out there, but I need to move on. The last thing I want to talk about is material. Wood, steel, and hybrid. I talked about hybrid before. It's most commonly wooden supports with steel track, but we've seen it the other way around once or twice. These are pretty new, but they caught on like wildfire because a company called RMC had the genius idea of taking old wooden coasters that no one liked and turning them into new hybrids by replacing the track and layout. Wooden coasters are made fully out of wood. These usually don't go upside down, but we've seen it happen once or twice, and they're usually low to the ground and very aggressive. Lastly, there's of course steel coasters. This is pretty much everything else out there. And yeah, that's basically the fundamentals of roller coasters in just under 4 minutes. Thanks for watching.